Hi, I'm Chef AJ, and welcome to Expert Village. I want to show you that making healthy food can be easy, delicious, and fun. And I'm going to make a pineapple fried rice. I'm going to show you a little bit of how I prep some of the ingredients before we get started on actually cooking the rice. One of the ingredients we're using are scallions, or green onions. And I teach healthy cooking to the blind at the Braille Institute. And while the blind can do everything sighted people can do, and they can use knives and they can measure, I just found it was so much easier to have them use scissors. So most people have a pair of cooking shears in their house. If not, go to the 99-cent store, get a pair of scissors that you only use for food. And it's just so easy to cut the scallions this way. Just cutting them with a scissors. You can get really, really small circles. You can get big circles. You can cut on the diagonal. But it's just as quick and easy, in my opinion, easier as using a knife. And I did the same thing for another ingredient, which are the fresh pea pods. I took the pea pods. I cut off the little end because sometimes there's a string on it. And I just make 3 or 4 cuts, depending on how big it is, and then I've got nice little pieces of pea pod. Again, I used my scissors for that as well. For the cilantro, it comes on a stem. The stem can be a little bit bitter or woody, so just make sure that when you're using fresh herbs, you take the leaves off the stem. The next vegetable we're going to use is a red bell pepper. And when you cut things, you want to make sure you have them on a flat surface. So you want a cutting board that has a non-movable or non-stick piece of material under it. You could always use a wet dish towel so that the cutting board doesn't move while you're cutting it. If you have a round item like an apple or a tomato or a bell pepper, you want to make one cut called a stabilizing cut so that the round item doesn't move. It has a flat surface. Always save every little bit. Throw the stem away. A red bell pepper is actually a ripe green pepper, and believe it or not, some people that can't digest or get gas from green bell peppers can actually eat red bell peppers, and they're very pretty. I think they're used sometimes even more for the color than the flavor. And then I want to cut as close to the membrane as I can. I don't want the seeds or the membrane. And then I throw the rest of it away. Now, because this is fried rice, I want little fine dices, actually. If I was making a recipe like a sweet, I wouldn't mind little bigger chunks, but I want these a little bit smaller. So generally, I just cut a few lines